Hello, everyone. This is Catherine Miller, founder of Embodied.com, holistic health coach and menopause guide. And today, our webinar is about 3 foolproof solutions to nailing your resolutions every time. I want to make procrastination, guilt, and failure a thing of the past for you. My mission this year is to help as many women as possible make the changes in their lifestyle that get them the best energy, the best sleep, the very best fitness to live their lives fully exactly the way they want to. In short, I want women to be able to kick ass, to excel, to lead, to be powerful, to be happy in their bodies, minds, and their whole lives. So that's a lot to accomplish in this webinar, but I'm going to do my very best. First of all, I'd like to really thank everyone who was on the challenge last week. We did a 7-day challenge, and we actually put to use a lot of the solutions I'm going to be sharing with you today. People keep telling me how thankful they are that they had this group to depend on. And literally people had relatives dying. They had sickness in the family. They had all kinds of challenges come up for them during this week. And yet because they had the support of this group, they felt they could do more than they would have normally been able to do under those same circumstances. We had 460 women sign up, and we had almost 200 of those women on Facebook posting daily and following through on each of the daily challenges. So it was a great success, and I want to use some of these examples to go over the solutions that I'm going to share with you. First, I'd like to go over some stats, because every year there's this frenzy of resolution making that happens. There's this mixture of hope and anticipation, excitement. It's a kind of innocence, like it's time to turn over a new leaf. And this year, I'm going to make stuff happen that I never did before. It's really going to happen this year, right? That's the feeling. And at the same time, if you've made resolutions and failed to come through on them, there tends to be this lack of trust in ourselves, a lack of trust in that very impulse to set new goals, because we don't want to set ourselves up for a fall. So the statistics show that there's only 40% of people set goals or resolutions anyways, but of those people, less than 10% follow through to the end. They, maybe make it a week or two, maybe a month, maybe about 40% of them make it actually to a 6-month mark, but very few people actually feel like they've attained the results that they were trying to get through setting those goals. On the other hand, there's people who explicitly make resolutions and set goals, and those people are 10 times more likely to attain the results they want than the people who don't explicitly make resolutions. So given the odds, you'd think, why set goals or resolutions at all? But when you look at this, it's actually is better to set them. You'll definitely have a higher chance of making stuff happen in your life if you do it. So what I want to show you today is how you can raise those odds in terms of actually following through to 100%. So what I hear women want, I've surveyed thousands of women. They want more energy, less weight, less stress, better sleep, be stronger and fitter. They want sustainable lifestyle habits. So they want to be able to eat more, exercise more, be more mindful, have stress reduction rituals in their life, but they want to have fun. And they also want programs that provide ongoing personal support, along with, really easy to implement information, not just loads of information piled on and then you have to sort through it, but easy information that makes a huge difference and gets results. So one of the things that I wanted to talk with you about today is there's some truths that not very many people will want to tell you. And that's that most change happens over time. I can hardly get it out. It's a hard truth to share. Change doesn't happen like that. It happens over time. And when you're trying to implement new lifestyle habits, you have to practice these things over weeks and months in order to make a true change. There's not really this magic moment that happens where you find that sweet spot where all your resistance melts away and it all comes really easily. That just isn't the case. And people just don't want to say that because it's kind of a bummer. But there are ways that you can make these challenges happen a lot more easily. So number one is you want to surround yourself with people who want the same things as you do. If you want to improve your health and the people around you just want to party and drink and eat fast foods all the time, not get any sleep, it's going to be really hard, probably almost impossible really, to make health changes to your lifestyle that will be sustainable, because you're just going to be going against the grain there. So community really, there's a few different kinds of community. Warm bodies, that's in person. Those are the communities you're surrounded by that you can reach out and physically touch. And those can include your family, your work, your gym, your meditation circle, your book club, your church, any of those things. And then there's the virtual community. And we're starting to depend more and more on our virtual communities, even in terms of keeping touch with the people in our in-person communities. And so virtual communities are now filling in a gap that we have when our in-person communities can't support us the way we want to. It used to be that, our extended families and the other communities that I mentioned, like your church or your spiritual group or your gym group, all those things, they would provide all the support that you needed. And they do still provide stability. But when it comes to changing the way things are done or the way you actually live your life, these stable forces in your life, if you have them, they don't always support change. They actually promote things being the same. You also have external resistance. So maybe your partner or your kids, they think it's great that you want to be healthy and lose weight and all that, but they don't want to give up their pizza. They don't want to give up their cookies. They don't want to not have potato chips around the house. Maybe your colleagues at work, they totally think you're amazing for not eating gluten and dairy. But if you go out on a girls' night out and they're the first people to push a dessert on you or something that you don't want to eat, they're not the ones that are necessarily going to support you in that discipline. So these forces around you that are pulling and pushing at you to toe the line and compromise are endless. And that's just the external challenges. They're internal resistance as well. And you can only resist your own resistance for so long before you start to feel like it's a futile battle. And pretty sooner or later, you usually end up caving, and then you feel bad. There's guilt around that. And this is where a community of people who are like-minded, who want the same changes as you, and who have experience, dealing with their own resistance, this is where that can really help you take that next step. Also, different communities are for different needs. It doesn't mean those other communities that I mentioned are not good for you. It just means they might not be able to fulfill, if you're trying to change something, they might not be the communities that you can actually depend on. So how do you create these communities that support you? Well, it can be tricky sometimes, but it can be done. If you go online and look under meetups, there's dozens of meetups in different areas, even in my rural area, places where you can go as a professional woman or as an artist or as a health professional. There's groups that are and a lot of women actually are organizing these groups. So I would check that out. I would check out Facebook groups. I would check out programs that you can join. The reason why Weight Watchers work so well is because they're a community of women who are all trying to lose weight. Because they share that in common, it provides a lot of the other elements we're going to go over in a second. All right, so baby steps. Baby steps is actually a few different things. It actually embodies a lot. But baby steps are absolutely essential to following through on your resolutions. So the first part of baby steps is really breaking your bigger goals into smaller goals. Weight loss is just one of those things. Everybody, whether it's 2 pounds or 50 pounds, we all usually have some weight we want to lose. But that's a very nebulous goal, weight loss. What does that really mean? What does that mean for you? Maybe you're eating really well. What you actually need to do is exercise. So how are you going to break that down into smaller goals? So you want to be able to make sure that you break it down into goals that are small enough so you can practice it consistently on most days. So if you decide you're going to work out for an hour a day at the gym, but the gym is an hour away and you have to be at work at 7 in the morning and you don't get to bed until midnight, that's not a small baby step you're going to be able to do. So you want to make sure that maybe a better goal in that case would be to do a high intensity workout for 7 minutes or 10 minutes every morning in your home, so that you don't have all that travel time and gym time. At least that is more than what you're doing now. So let's say you decided to do that, and you want to track your progress. You want to have a calendar, and you want to mark off every day that you practice that habit. And the days that you don't practice, you want to really think about it. What happened that day that I couldn't get up and do that 10 minutes of workout? Was it, the kids had a game, I didn't get home until late, and then I had to get stuff ready for the next day, so I didn't get enough sleep. So then you might look at your planning and you might decide, okay, I'm going to see if my husband can do this thing instead of me. I'll see if the kids can do this thing instead of me. This is just one example. There's a lot of different ways to understand and plan better so that you're not failing to come through on the things that you want to do. So that's part of understanding and facing your challenges. It's not trying to pretend that we don't have these challenges. It's not trying to pretend we're going to be perfect about this at all. When I say consistent, you want to be consistent most days. Let's say 4 or 5 days out of the week. And then as you build up the practice, you can get even more consistent if that's going to get you better results. The idea isn't to be perfect. The idea is to learn what works for you and use this process as a way to learn what works for you so you can really go for it and do it. The next thing is accountability. And I like this picture right here. It's of all the hands on top of one another, because accountability to me looks very different than what I used to think. I used to think accountability was someone standing there shaking their finger at you and saying, you better do this. You better do what you said you're going to do. And it always makes you feel bad, and it makes you feel like you aren't going to do it. It kind of has the reversed situation. If you make a resolution and it's just between you and you, who really cares, right? If you falter, there's no one that's going to come and say, hey, don't stop now. Keep going. You're doing great. No one will know you quit except for you. And even if it is only you that knows you failed, it undermines your confidence, it undermines your self-respect, and it undermines your ability to believe and to trust and to take that step the next time. So accountability actually embraces a few different steps. And the first one is to go public. You want to share your goals with as many people as possible. At least one. You have to share them with at least one other person who cares about you and cares about what you're doing. So once you share with them, then really spread the love. Like, tell as many people as possible. If you have a community of people, tell them what you're going to do and tell them when you're going to do it by. So you actually can be held accountable by them. And of course, the way you want to be held accountable is with a lot of love and compassion. The other thing is share your failures. If you don't share your failures, you can't get advice from people who may have already been through that challenge before and have a little bit more experience of you in an area that they can share with you and really cut down that time that you're wasting trying to figure it out yourself, or prevent you from quitting completely because you just don't know how to get around this failure, this challenge. Another thing you can do is to get coaching. It's really cool if you can get somebody, a mentor or a coach, who can look at your life and look at your goals, look at your challenges, and help you find a way forward. I have coaches for my business. I have coaches for my health. I don't try to do it alone. I have done that before, and it just didn't work. It's now I realize it's not just me that needs help. We all need help. We all need support. And lastly, I want you to remember that perfection is not the goal. Although we succeed, although we think we need perfection in order to succeed, it's not. Perfection actually holds us back. It actually keeps us from succeeding. We succeed through sincerity, like sincerely saying what it is we want to do and why we want to do it. We succeed through consistency, through practicing something more often than not, okay? Not perfectly, but more often than not. And we succeed through having courage, the courage to believe in ourselves, to believe in the community around us and put our trust and faith there. And then we also succeed through honesty, like just an honest assessment of where we're at, where we want to go, what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. Not the kind of honesty where you just bash yourself for not being perfect, but the kind of honesty that's really just making an honest assessment. These are the kind of things that we need, this kind of accountability to ourselves and to others in order to truly succeed. So let's take a deep breath. And then another deep breath in and out through your nose. Because I like to switch tracks. That's a real switching of tracks from all of a sudden this stress that may have built up because I've just overwhelmed you with more stuff to do and more stuff to figure out. And that's really not my intention. What I would like to do now is to tell you there's other things that I've discovered that women want as well. Yes, we want the energy. We want to lose weight. We want to, be fit and strong. But we also want programs that provide community, that provide accountability, that help us break down our goals into baby steps. And we want programs that are affordable. So with all of this in mind, everything that I've covered up to now, I've created the Radiant Kick-Ass Women's Club. This is something I'm just truly and absolutely excited about. I love working with groups of women. I've been doing it for decades. I love what happens when groups of women get together, and it goes right along with my mission to help as many women as possible have the kind of life that they want to have and have the kind of a success that they've never quite been able to get when it comes to having a healthy lifestyle. So why did I choose this name? A lot of people ask me that. Radiant to me it's how I aspire to be. It's a point from which light radiates, and that's how I see women. It's an expression of love, also confidence, happiness, joy. It's like we're emitting these rays of light and glowing. This is how I see us when we're really engaged with life, when we're really working hard to implement all the things that we know how to do and learn new things and grow on a personal level. So radiant means a lot to me. Kick-ass means to actively motivate yourself or someone else to do something. And that's, I think, another element that's crucial to succeeding when we set these goals, make resolutions. We have to know how to motivate ourselves and other people. And also, I love it as an adjective, because if I say, wow, that's really kick-ass, or I'm really kick-ass, it means excellent. It means I'm excelling. It means I'm exciting, powerful, effective, cool. These are the ways I like to describe myself and describe other women when we're really on it, when we're really doing what we love. So what is this club exactly? It's a peer group of like-minded women who are committed to living healthy, vibrant lives, and they're also committed to each other's success. In this club, you have support from a dedicated coach, which is me. So you have that coaching element in terms of the baby steps and how to do all that. It also is an affordable, ongoing membership. A lot of women had said to me, okay, it's great. I loved your 7-day program, but what now? I loved your 10-day program, but what now? I loved your 6-week program, but now what do I do now? So I wanted a program that actually had ongoing membership. So once you attained one goal, you could go right on and do another and keep building on your success as long as you want to. There's also positive engagement that keeps you motivated and accountable. We're always focusing on the positive. We're not avoiding the negative. And so this is a very different environment. It's a very multidimensional environment. We're looking at everything to keep you on track and on target. And then lastly, this lots of targeted information. So information that you can implement, plenty of time to absorb it. A lot of times people feel like I give a lot of information, but the length of the programs is so short, relatively speaking, that they just don't have time to really put it into practice. So this time there's going to be lots and lots of time for you to take information, absorb it, chew it over, revisit it, put it into use, come back to it when you need it, all of that. Now the details of the club is it's an ongoing year-long membership. There are 13 cycles in a year, and each cycle is 4 weeks long. The first cycle starts this February 13th. And the idea is to have ongoing daily, weekly, monthly support that you need to reach your goals for health, hormonal balance, and energy. So we have a couple of different levels in this club, different membership levels. So on the pink level, you have the community, the support and encouragement of your peers. There's a live video class every cycle with myself. There's an expert interview on women's health and hormonal balance every cycle. There's daily tracking of baby steps and progress. Now, this is really important because this is a private online platform. There's no Facebook involved or anything like that. It's all completely private and confidential. And each day you track the things that you've done. You share your experiences, you ask questions, and you get feedback and encouragement. So there's a lot of support. There's a lot of personal support. There's a lot of real-time interaction. And that comes with the daily support from coaches. So I'll be the main coach there. As this group grows, we'll have other coaches, and there'll also be other people who are offering encouragement and keeping everybody going, basically. Now, the second level of membership is Ultra Pink, and that has everything that the pink level has, plus a live group coaching call with Catherine. And this is one-on-one time to help you with your particular challenges and goals and all the best actions you can take to get results. The personal coaching normally costs like hundreds of dollars per session, but in the group coaching, it makes it affordable. Plus, in some ways, group coaching is even better than private coaching because you're learning so much from every single person that I talk to. It's amazing how that works. And most of the programs that I've been engaged with have been group coaching programs. And I have gotten just as much, if not more, from those than I have from private coaching. It's something you kind of have to experience. If you haven't experienced it before, it's hard to believe, but it's really true. So also, if you sign up before the session starts on the 13th, then you get a 45-minute private coaching session with me to kick off your membership. So that I normally only give these private coaching sessions with private clients. I don't normally give those to people who are in any of my group programs. So this is a new thing and something that you should consider to really take this to heart. So it's also affordable. So this level of support, personal support, and coaching, it normally costs thousands of dollars when I'm working with my private clients. And for you guys, though, for the pink level, the membership is only $97, so less than $100 per cycle. And for the ultra pink level, it's $197. Let's see, club details. So the club begins on Monday, February the 13th. The subscription is ongoing. Each month will have a different focus or theme. And the first theme is beautiful basics. We're going to really focus on the basic things that we need to do in order to stay healthy. And we'll have beginner and advanced levels of that. So no matter who you are, you'll be able to work on that. And we're also going to be speaking with our expert for this first cycle is going to be a personal trainer, someone who trains women over 40, since exercise and movement is such a hard thing for all of us. So one of the most important aspects of this program, I feel, is this idea of rewarding yourself. In the challenge, we had the very last day of the challenge was, how are you going to reward yourself for committing to this 7 days and for practicing the challenges that you chose to do consistently? What are you going to do for yourself? What are you going to do for yourself now? So it's not like, are you going to go on a great, fabulous trip at the end of the year? Or, are you, going to go, do something so, like, I can't even think of a thing like that. It has to be something special, something that you love to do. It doesn't have to cost money, but it needs to be something that you do for rewarding yourself for following through. That's a very important aspect of success around resolutions and goal setting. So today I wanted to say, this is a way for you to reward yourself, to reward your intention to change. Women are always making sure that everyone else is taken care of. And before even thinking about giving themselves what they need. I've talked to so many women, they make everyone else's breakfast, and then finally they'll have their own breakfast. Or not even. They might eat lunch. They might just pick at something while they're cooking dinner then later on. But it's amazing. And I really feel that for the world to change, more women need to put themselves first, just out of respect for what we have to give to the world and actually what's needed in the world. We need more women. We need more women out there visible as examples of what we can do, and especially older women and menopausal women. So also, no one achieves greatness on their own. And no matter what someone must say, or no matter what it looks like from the outside, everybody has mentors. Everybody has people who believe in them and help them. And even those people that had to fight their whole lives to get where they got to, they had help as well. So, this is what this club is all about. It's about supporting you in the ways that you need to be supported so you can have the kick-ass, radiant life that you deserve and that you want. So join the Radiant Kick-Ass Women's Club today. You can go to http://embodied.com/club. And it's really important that you go there soon, because this group starts in a couple of weeks, and I would love to get you signed up for your personal conversation before it actually starts. There's a big yellow button under this webinar that you can also hit, so you can click on that, and it'll take you over to the page where you'll find lots more details than what I just went over with you. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please email me at Catherine@embodied.com, and I'll be sure to get back to you. So check it out and let me know what you think.